So we're at the office in the British Virgin Islands, and well, because we're in the Caribbean, people automatically assume we sit in the pool and sip fruity drinks all day. I don't know where they get that impression. But the truth is, most of my day is actually spent on paperwork. So contracts in particular, we have lots of different contracts, but I want to talk about one contract today, and that's called the CYBA contract, CYBA contract. We'll use this contract on generally all-inclusive boats under 100 foot. CYBA or CYBA, as you might hear it called, they are the Charter Yacht Brokers Association. They produced this contract to regulate the industry between the yachts and the brokers. There are lots of yachts that will only accept this contract, so you may come across it, you may see it. As a client, I wanted to show you some parts of this contract that you should make sure your charter broker has filled out correctly. And as a broker, I want to show you some parts of the contract that you should fill out correctly. Okay, LSB baby, let's sell some boats, woo!
I bet you thought I was gonna do this whole video in my bikini. Wrong! Okay, so let's get to it. This is your charter agreement. So when I give this to my staff or when I fill it out myself, I start off with this blank one. It's idiot proof. You know what to insert. This is how the brokers are going to fill out your contract and send it to you. So this is where your name will go. So I'm going to say Mr. Blogs. And he's going to go on a yacht that I like called Foxy Lady. And Mr. Blogs is going to go here again. And we're going to put the name of the yacht one more time in here, Foxy Lady. And LOA means length overall, so I know that she's 62 foot. And the type of yacht, Foxy Lady, is in fact a lagoon. And the official number, which I'm not allowed to give out, I'm just going to make up. Ba, ba, ba. Okay, so you see here the charter dates. This is going to be the date, the start, the time of, and the place of your charter. So, the time. Traditionally, they start at 12 noon. The date. What we're going to go for? We're going to go for the 6th of December. And the year, we're going to go for 2014. And the port of boarding, that is the place where you're going to get onto the boat. So, it's going to be the British Virgin Islands, BVI, and we're going to do Village Key Marina. Now, that's not all set in stone, but that is traditional, that's a popular marina, a lot of the boats know it, it's very easy to get to. But, if you have somewhere else, you can renegotiate that. Just talk to your broker and talk to your crew. So, this is the time it's going to end. So 12 noon, and it's going to be a 7-day charter, which is what most people tend to do. So 7 days is going to be the 13th of December 2014, BVI, and they're going to drop you off right where they picked you up, Village Key Marina. And the cruising area. So this is a BVI cruise, so British Virgin Islands. Obviously, if you want to go to different places, then talk to your broker, talk to your yacht. So, the charter fee. I know that the fee for Foxy Lady in high season, which is December and November and January and February, is $33,000. There are no additional fees. This is an all-inclusive yacht. Additional fees maybe if you wanted to pay in advance for some premium beverages or maybe scuba diving or something like that. Something that was extra, something wasn't included. So the total fee for this is $33,000. Okay, this is your payment schedule. You need to check all of this, especially the payment schedule. Say we're booking a year out. The first deposit is going to be 25%. So 25% of 33,000 is 8,250. Okay, the second payment, which is due 6 months before the date of your charter, 6 months prior to boarding, that's another 25%. That's going to be 8,250. Your final payment, which is going to be 50%, is going to be due 45 days prior to boarding. So you're going to have to pay, what is that, 16,500. And that will be your entire fee paid. So, obviously if you want to pay before that, that's not a problem. You want to pay it in full, that's not a problem. Now, if you choose to pay, say you book less than 6 months prior to boarding. So you're going to be giving a 50% deposit and then pay the final 50% 45 days before boarding. Say if you do a last minute trip and you want to go on that boat 45 days before the booking or less, you're going to have to pay 100% of that fee to secure that boat. So let's go over this little bit one more time. Okay, we've got your name. Make sure it is spelt correctly. The boat, make sure it is the correct yacht, the one that you want to charter. Make sure, look at the specifications on your brochure. Make sure it's the 60-foot lagoon called Foxy Lady. Okay, the charter dates. Make sure this is okay. If you want to negotiate a different time, then so be it. You may have to pay an extra rental fee, but you can always ask. 12 noon is the standard. And make sure that your date is correct. Do you want to go on the 6th of December? Is that what you discussed with your broker? Double check these details because you're just about to sign a legally binding contract. The money, this is important. Make sure that you check this is the correct and pre-arranged fee, the one that's advertised. Get your calculator out. Do the math. Make sure that this deposit, the 2 deposit, the 3 deposit fees, make sure they're correct, okay? You're just about to sign this and give your deposit. It's not a small amount of money. You need to make sure it's correct. Okay, terms and conditions. I'm not going to go through the whole contract, but this is a particularly important bit. This terms and conditions right here. This is telling you what's included. This is a pretty much all-inclusive contract. So it's telling you you've got the services of your captain and crew. You've got all your meals and a standard ship's bar and the fuel and all the expenses related to the running of the vessel on board, and the onboard sports equipment is included. Now, the charter fee, this is important. The charter fee does not include the crew gratuities. Now, if your crew do a good job, tip them. The industry standard is 15 to 20% or more, depending on how good of a job they did. Scuba diving, some boats include it, some boats don't. So that's going to come in our next little section. Premium beverages. If you like to drink Cristal with pieces of gold in it, then that's not going to be included in your standard bar. You're going to have to pay extra or bring it with you. But you will have a standard bar and you will be able to discuss what the bar is and all that kind of stuff with your chef before you go. Obviously, excessive alcohol consumption. I've never seen a boat drunk dry because those charter boats have a lot of alcohol, but, you know, it's possible, but you will be charged extra for that. Anything, if you go on the dock, that's going to be extra. That's not included. You can go on the anchor, you can go on the mooring balls, that's all included, but the dockage fees are extra. If you get off the yacht and you want to take a taxi, this, that, and the other, that's extra. Cruising taxes and permits are included normally, but you do have to read the additional terms and conditions. And also, this little bit is telling you that we're not going to pay for your flight. Okay, so here, the additional terms and conditions right here. Okay, say that the boat does have dive equipment, but they charge extra for the dives. This is what's just here. I know that Foxy Lady does not do any diving. They do rendezvous diving only, so it means someone will pick you up and local dive centre will pick you up. But some boats, they'll have dive equipment and they will take you out for a fee. So this would be where that information would be. Maybe you've been promised a bottle of fancy champagne for boarding. That's going to be in here. Anything out of the normal contract is going to be right in here. But there's no extras for this one. There's no extra conditions for this one. So you're going to scroll down to the end of each page. This is a 4-page contract, and on every single page, you're going to have to print this out, and every single page, you will initial at the bottom here, charterer. You're the charterer, and we want to see your initials right there. So print it out, initial. Okay, we've got one more. The brokerage, you're going to want to check that this is the people that you're making an arrangement with. H&R Yachts, that's us. And we're in there. Okay, carry on down, carry on down. Look, there we go, initials again. You want to put your initials right there. And we're going to carry on, carry on, carry on, carry on, carry on. I encourage you to read this. Make sure you agree with it. So, charter's initials right there one more time. And then we get to the last page. You want to initial at the bottom here. You can't quite see that, but there is initial. But this is your box. This is the important thing. This is a legally binding contract. So, we want your signature right here. Print your name. And the witness. A witness can be anyone that's over the age of consent. Husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, cousin, anyone that's around, that's going to be fine. Make them sign, make sure they're at the age of consent, make them print the name, and make them date as well. What will happen is you will scan this back in to your computer, and then you will send it to us. And then we will have this part here sent to the yacht or the yacht representative, and they will sign it. And then they'll initial all of the bottom of the pages, and they'll keep it on file. That makes it a legally binding contract. Now, there's a couple of points. The only part of the contract that should be adjusted is this part here, and that should come to you like this from your broker. This part here, the additional terms and conditions, can be adjusted, but nothing else. I've had guests decide that they don't like the contract and they adjust it with a biro. That renders the contract void. These are standard industry contracts, and these are the ones the boats have agreed to take on, and they're not going to accept it if you don't like the terms and you've changed them yourself. If you do not like the terms and conditions, talk to your broker, talk to your yacht, and you can negotiate something different. But this is the standard, and if you adjust it yourself, this is not going to fly. Okay, so enjoy. I hope this was a good tutorial. I hope you further understand your charter agreement. We do have a couple of other charter agreements to go through, but this is the CYBA contract. So, thank you very much for listening, and enjoy your day.